This is Megan Adams for AEP 800, and today I want to talk to you first about CommonLit. CommonLit bills itself as a reading program, but I use it as more of a supplemental within my own classroom. The way it works is this. I have students who sign on to the free website. They receive a reading assignment. They answer questions. I receive the data, and we move on from there. It's fairly simple, all put out, but there are a lot of different intricacies, and I think that there's a lot to be gained from the use of this website. So first, we're going to look at the library, because what do I mean when I say, oh, you know, what am I talking about? What kind of text am I going to get access to? So over here, you can browse by genre, and you'll notice that we have plenty of different things. We have allegory, autobiography, drama, essay, fable, fantasy, so on and so forth. You have historical fiction, you have historical documents, you have science-based documents, you have political theory, primary source documents. So I do want to make a note that the use of this website is not something that should be relegated to the English classroom, because you can find plenty of important interviews or important court cases within this platform, and so it can be easily incorporated to the science classroom, maybe if you wanted to talk about climate change. Or let's say that you would incorporate it into the social studies classroom if you wanted to talk about herd mentality or something like that. But with all of this in mind, we're going to go ahead and just look at a text so I can walk you through it. I'm just going to hit featured content, and generally what's found here is in collections and is in its own theme. And this week, we have lots of different stuff. I'm going to go ahead and click on Fish Cheeks by Amy Tan. So we're going to imagine I'm a sixth grader or a seventh grader reading this. And as I read, I can click the button to have this text read aloud to me. I can translate this, or I can annotate this. This is all done as a student. So let's say I want to annotate this very first sentence. Yes, I can go ahead and highlight that. I can add text to it if I get rid of the bubble, so on and so forth. Yes? As we read, or as the student reads through the story, you'll notice that we have built-in help with vocabulary. We also have built-in guiding questions in which at different points in the text, students can answer guided comprehension questions as they read. And they're not scored. It's just meant to keep students on board. So, what is the narrator's? Confused, embarrassed. She's embarrassed. Awesome. Now that I've checked that, I can move on. As I get to the end, I can move on to assessment questions, and these assessment questions are all provided within the text. And they are all specifically related to a certain standard, which I know that whenever I need to write questions of my own, that's one of the things that I really struggle with, is making sure that everything exactly matches up to a standard. So having this program that does it for me, I say program, I mean website, having this website that does it for me makes life simpler. In addition, there are discussion questions in which students can be shown how to lead effective discussions. Within my own classroom, I generally use these as, hey, we're going to be talking about these. Make sure that you're writing down brainstorming things. As students finish, they'll turn it in. And here I want to make sure that first of all, they're within my class. There is import and export from Google Classroom. So as I assign a text, I can put it onto Google Classroom easily. As students finish their assignments, their grades will transfer from CommonLit back into Google Classroom, which is where I keep my grade book. I don't have any current classes up, so we'll look at archived classes. And let's say that we're going to look at freshman English from 2018. And this is after they've all finished an assignment. And this is what I can then do. I can then look at their data, which, as we're seeing, not super hot. Yes? But it gives me a performance snapshot. It tells me what I need to focus on more. I think most important is exactly how many students. Let's say that I'm looking at this data, which is already collated and collected for me. Then I know that we need to spend more time working on our L6. So All of this, I want to make sure that you notice, is free. And I think that's the most important thing, in that it is something that gives you very formative insights. It gives you an idea of what you need to go on to do. This isn't a tool to make away with differentiation. This is a tool to enable more differentiation. So let's say that I know that several students of mine are reading on a significantly lower Lexile. I can then look at, maybe I can classify my library by theme or by literary device and say, you know what, I want to look at figurative language. This half of the class needs to have the sixth grade version, whereas this half of the class needs to have the 10th grade version. And these three kids, they need the 12th grade. And these two kids, they need the third grade version. But there's something there that I can always access. So again, it doesn't differentiate in and of itself, but it is a tool that enables better differentiation, and it's a tool that enables very accessible literacy practice for students.